Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hey, you know what? This is a week that I know you might either be one of two people. Like, pressure is building on you right now, financial pressure especially, because this is the week when people start, thinking about that loved one. It's Valentine's Day coming up here in a couple of days, and so sometimes people start to get that anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy something for somebody, and oh, I hope I don't miss it. I wish I could be a little bit more creative. I hope I do the right thing. And then there's the other person who's like, I am alone again on Valentine's Day. I don't have a Valentine. Hey, we've all been in that boat before, right? Some of us longer than others, no question. And then there's these other people who also feel the anxiety of knowing that they're not going to be honored the way that they want to be honored on Valentine's Day, and predominantly because they won't communicate, right? There are those people that expect for you to read their minds, and they have a certain way that they want to be loved, but they don't want to tell you how they want to be loved. Which is, that's the one that drives me nuts. Nuts. Yeah, that person, you say, okay, well, what do you want? Like, I don't know. They want you to, guess. They want you to read their mind. And it's like, it's incredibly frustrating and creates a lot of anxiety. So no matter which one it is that you are, we've got this week that people are now preparing for what is going to be happening here in a couple of days with all of the marketing going into, yes, Valentine's Day, which again is a marketing ploy. That's what it is. It's like marketers came up with ways to get you to spend money every couple of months and to put a focus in an area that it's a good idea, right? To recognize the people that you love, no question. But what I want to give you today is a couple of strategies. One, to save money this week. Two, to have a much more unique, more impactful, more meaningful day on Valentine's Day, or even let's just call it this week, the week of love, a week of focusing on love. And so I want to help you save money. I want to help you have it be much more unique, and I want to help you have it much more powerful. So let's show you exactly how to do that today. By the way, if this is your first time joining us, DaniJohnson.com is our website. I grew up on welfare, pregnant at 17, homeless at 21, but millionaire by 23. From a homeless woman to a multimillionaire who gives the profits and my salary away to those who are in dire straits, horrible need. And I'm talking about kids that are being trafficked, right? Especially when we're talking about Love Week, right? We just last year alone, we freed from the sex trade 1,502 children. Yes, I said 1,502 kids were freed from the sex trade as a direct result of what we do here at DaniJohnson.com. And if you've been watching this show for the amount of years that it has been on the air, which is since 2009, you have participated in helping kids get out of the sex trade. And so as the owner and the CEO of the company, I don't take a salary. The profits are shared amongst the poor, the government, and the staff, the team that works so hard to be able to put things on like this, as well as everything else that we produce inside of our office. So if you've never joined us here before, and either you're watching this on air or on YouTube or on Facebook or listening it to on a podcast or radio or whatever, if this is your first time joining us, we want to say welcome, and we hope that you go and explore all over the DaniJohnson.com website to find all kinds of amazing tools to make more money, to grow your business, and to get more love. Yes, more love in your life, whether it's love from your kids, your spouse, your coworkers, whatever place it is that you're looking for more love. If you want to grow in your relationship with your God and you want to feel more love even from Him, or you want to express more love to Him, DaniJohnson.com is going to show you exactly how to do that. Guaranteed in 30 days. We promise you that you are going to experience more money, more business, more time, and more love. You hang out with us for the next 30 days, I promise you're going to see a change in your life. So let's get right into it. I've got 4 simple little tips that are going to help this week be a better week versus a week filled with anxiety, a week filled with the financial pressure, the week filled with cultural pressure, week filled with the pressure of the expectation that maybe some of the loved ones have put on you, or you've like made up all the expectation all by yourself. Maybe you've conjured it up in your own mind and you've made some assumptions, and I want to show you exactly how to break through all of those things, through all the pressure that tends to come during this week, and how to turn it into a glorious week, versus just a single day to save money and to make a much bigger and greater impact at home as well as at work. So let's get right to it. Point number 1. Release. This year, since the year has began, I've been feeling 2 messages that have been brewing inside of my spirit. Actually, I will say 3. Three main things that I am kind of using as a banner that is charging ahead for this year. One of them is playing to win. So in playing to win, especially in a marriage or in a relationship with your kids or your coworkers, there's certain strategies that you should be doing. A lot of people are playing to lose and they don't even realize it. The second kind of phrase that's been sticking with me is release. To release what is holding me back and to release over myself the kind of blessings that I want to receive. And then the third one is, behold, he makes all things new. These 3 messages, I would say it's all one big message. They're all related to each other. One of the ways to play to win this year, one of the two great strategies to play to win this year instead of playing to lose or playing so that you don't lose, which is playing in fear and hedging your bets against fear, which is not the way to win. But the 2 main strategies that I'm focusing on to play to win this year is, number 1 is release, which is my point for today, about how to win big, like how to break through this anxiety, how to make sure that you make an impact this week, which is really what you want to do. You want to express your love for somebody, especially on Valentine's Day. So number 1, my point number 1 is release. Well, Dani, what do I have to release? You need to release the pressure. You need to not allow yourself. First of all, when you, a lot of times we live life without even realizing the pressure in which we're feeling. It's pressing on us. Some of us feel it like our heart is starting to race. Others of us just feel like it's a heavy weight on top of our shoulders. Some of us feel like it's a 400-pound, something laying on top of our chest, or there's like an elephant that's in our throat. Like, gosh, I can't breathe because of the pressure. And let's say that a month ago you set a goal that you want to be able to pay off debt this year, that you have some big goal of being able to travel to some luxurious or amazing place this year, and or you want to do something special for a loved one. You had some goals that you set up at the very beginning of the year, and now here's this week that's wanting to take money out of your pocket, and you can feel the pressure of it as well as the pressure of making the right decision, of doing the right thing for the right person. And so the first thing you must do in order to play to win, especially with what is on the horizon right now, is make the decision that you are going to release the pressure that the market is trying to put on you. The marketers who are putting pressure on you even right now to be purchasing chocolates and roses or candies or cards and balloons. And I mean, the list goes on now. I mean, Valentine's Day isn't what it was. Now it's like this, just all of these crazy customized things that you're supposed to be buying for somebody that you love. And if you're like me, you got like 5 kids and 8 grandkids. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people, including the spouses. All 4 of our 5 kids are married, so that we have the extra daughters and sons and loves that have been added to the family. Are you catching what I'm throwing at you? So you got to release it. And see, when you don't recognize that you're feeling that pressure, well, then you're kind of holding on to it. You're carrying it, and it's starting to make you snap a little bit at a few people. And so one is recognize it. So just do this. Just like, no, I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to just release that. I'm going to let that go. I'm not going to buckle under the pressure. I'm going to think for myself. The other thing is that you also need to release perhaps some hurts from your past. That you might have some loved ones, right? And again, this is about having a unique day of love. This is about it being a different year this year. This is about playing to win, okay? This is about this week, look at the banner over this week is about love and to intensify that love in a very unique way. It doesn't have to be bought, which is what the marketers are telling you, is that love has to be bought. I'm telling you, you can sail in and look like the greatest person on earth if you do the things I'm telling you right now. So one, release the cultural pressure. What does that mean? Just let go of it, man. Just don't even hold on to it. Don't even sucker into it. Don't sucker into all the pink and the red and the white stuff that's all around you and all the crazy ideas. And there you are. You spent 3 hours on Amazon trying to figure out what you're going to get so-and-so for Valentine's Day this week. No, just forget about it, okay? The other thing under release is give the greatest gift, which is releasing somebody, choosing to release somebody who has hurt you. Why would I do that? Because it's hurting you and it's adding pressure to you, because it's hurting your emotional man. It's hurting and rotting something inside of your soul. It's actually taking up space inside of your mind and space inside of your heart, which is not allowing you to be able to think more clearly about your future, about yourself, or about others, and certainly not about your finances. Because you know what happens when people are hurt by somebody? They try to spend their way to healing. They try to spend their way into covering up the pain. You know what that looks like, right? Yeah, drinking, smoking, bong hits, shooting things in your arms, porn addictions, shopping addictions, food addictions. Do you understand? Gaming addictions. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So these addictions are in play because it is trying to mask the pain inside of somebody's heart, inside of their emotions, inside of their soul. And so if you release the pain, if you release the person, you release the judgment you have against somebody, then now you're going to reclaim that territory that was taken up with bitterness or resentment or hurt, pain, judgment, anxiety. You want that space of your heart back, friend. Think about it. Think of your heart as real estate, right? It's a certain piece of real estate inside of your body that runs everything inside of your body. And you have a certain part of that heart that's turning black. It's soaking up the rest of the oxygen from your body, and oxygen is what actually keeps you alive. It actually keeps you happy. That oxygen in your body keeps you healthy. But if that oxygen is being sucked into a black hole, a certain part of the real estate of your heart, your soul, your emotions, and your mind, well, then you can't think clearly. Certainly you're not dreaming big anymore. Certainly you're not feeling good about yourself. You're not walking in the fullness of the confidence of who you are. No, because why? Because part of the real estate of who you are is being totally taken up and turned to blackness. And so it's sucking up your confidence. It's sucking up love. It's sucking up pain. And what it's doing is it's starting to replicate itself throughout the other parts of your heart. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you do this one thing this week and you just make a list of who do I need to forgive? Who am I allowing real estate inside of my mind, my soul, my emotions? My mind, my soul, my emotions, my heart. That is not serving me. It's not helping me. It's not helping me dream. It's not helping me get out of debt. It's not helping me save money. But instead, you're doing things to try to squash the pain, and it's not working. So really, if you choose to release the cultural pressure of buying this week and release the pressure from all of the pain from the people who have hurt you, wronged you, stabbed you in the back, they've been jealous of you, like this one's great, totally has misunderstood you, twisted things that you've said, bared false witness against you, false accusations against you, which, hello, welcome to the real world. That happens, right? Lied to you, stole something from you, wasn't there for you when they should have been there for you. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Wasn't loving enough, didn't give you enough recognition, didn't pay you enough, okay? Are you listening to me? So whatever it is, whatever offense you have towards somebody else, whatever pain it is that you've been holding on to, man, friend, release that. Let this be a week of release. And what you're going to watch is you're going to watch yourself get happier. You're going to watch yourself get lighter. You're going to watch yourself become more accepting. And when you are a more accepting person, you are a more trustful person. You are a safe person for others to work with and live with. It's very possible that this blackness inside of your heart that you have given permission to be there has caused you to not be a very fun person to live or work with. It's very possible that it's causing you to be that person that's flying off the handle really fast, that your frustration button is getting just tipped so very quickly, and it literally is all geared towards the fact that you have this thing inside of you that you've allowed to fester, to pus, green, slimy, crusty pus inside of you, and you're in control of it. So when you release something, it is like you don't even have to talk to the person that you're releasing, and you might need to release yourself. So today I want you to think about so we have this. What I want you to think about is turning this into a love week versus just a one day of expressing love. And this is actually expressing love to yourself. Releasing yourself from this pain is a gift to yourself, and it's taking care of yourself. That's what it's doing, as well as it's releasing other people. You're going to make more money from doing this. I hope you realize that. You're going to end up saving a whole lot of money because it's out of this that we spend, which is horrible. And then we feel worse about ourselves, and then we blame people for it. So release. If we have a love week, for the next 7 days, once a day, you just pick one thing or one person that you are going to release. And what does it mean? I release them. They owe me nothing. They owe me nothing. And then what I want you to do is I want you to say or write down a little Post-it note, little piece of scratch paper, a blessing that you will hand to them. Text them a blessing. Write a blessing to them on their Facebook. What does that mean? I'm not talking about some religious thing. I'm talking about, you know what? I'm blessed to know you. You're like, Dani, I can't say that. Of course you can't before you forgive them. But after you forgive them and you fully release them and you say with your mouth, they owe me nothing. They owe me nothing. Well, then what can you say? Then if they owe you nothing, then you can learn what you learned from the pain. So you could say something like, I am so grateful for everything I've had the chance to learn from you because I'm a better person for it. And that's the truth. Because if you choose to release, you will be a better person for it. So just choose to bless, okay? Point number 2. In playing to win for this year, point number 2, I told you there's 2 things for my strategies for playing to win this year. One is to release that which is holding me back and to release over myself gifts. Like, for example, the gift of forgiveness, the gift of releasing people or things or myself. But number 2, behold, he makes all things new. Who's the he? The creator of the heavens and the earth. He makes all things new. And that has been resonating inside of my soul. So what is it that needs to be made new? So point number 2 is I want you to think on that. Behold, I make all things new. What are the things that need to be made new inside of you for this year in order for you to win and win big this year? Behold, I make all things new, including your marriage. And if you're not married, maybe it's a new marriage that's going to come into your life this year. If you choose to release the past bad experiences, then you're ready to receive the blessing that is in front of you. So behold, I make all things new. I want you to imagine if things were new, if the marriage was new, if you were new as a parent. I want you to imagine if your finances were new. I want you to imagine what it will be like without having any more debt, being completely debt-free. I want you to think of, okay, your body that maybe you've let to get trashed, and think, behold, I make all things new, including that body that's trashed. And what would it be like to walk in that? What would it be like to live in that? What would it be like to be in a new relationship with the same person? Okay, what would it be like to have a new financial life, completely debt-free, financially independent? What would it be like to be a new parent who's no longer stressed out all the time? But listen, if you can't imagine it, if you can't envision it, you're certainly not going to embrace it, nor will you learn what you need to learn to be able to get it. Number 3 is I want you every day, I want you to encourage. It'll take you 5 minutes. If you have 5 people in your family, I want you to write down 5 words of encouragement for them on 5 Post-it notes or pieces of scratch paper. Do that every day. Make it not about the day, the build-up for the day, but it could be like, okay, write down one encouraging thing, because words are more powerful than gifts. The gift of an encouraging word, the gift of encouragement gives life. It inspires, it motivates, it brings about the best in another person. And yet people, again, the market has told you that the way you love someone is by buying them something. No. Giving them the gift of encouragement is far better than a rose, far better than money. So really think about it and say, okay, how can I encourage this person? And make it this whole week of encouragement. Okay, it's free. It doesn't cost you any money. Step number 4 is I want you to show kindness. Show kindness. You know something that you could do that's very unique that nobody else is going to be doing this week? Is that they're going to be buying stuff for people who need nothing. But what if you were to show kindness in a very unique, a very special way? And that rather than buying chocolates for somebody who doesn't clearly need them, or a rose that's going to die, okay? And again, you could do whatever you want. But why not gather the family tonight and talk to them about what I just talked to you about. In fact, let them listen to today's show. Let them listen to this. And then you guys can decide as a family, and you could even do this inside of your company. Take 5 minutes on the lunch break and say, guys, I want you to listen to something. I want to challenge you with something. Let's love uniquely this year. Let's show love in a very unique way. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that on Valentine's Day, you can't cook an amazing meal for the person that you love. It doesn't mean that you can't write some beautiful poem or write some beautiful story and they are the person of the story that you're writing about that just fills them with honor and adoration and appreciation. Get creative. Now, I know there's a certain personality, you're like, get creative, Dani. I have no idea what that means. Trust me, I'm one of those people. Okay, creativity is not my best suit. But I'm giving you some creative ideas right now. So how can you show kindness? Gather your family, gather your coworkers, and say, let's just say no to marketing this year. Let's say freaking no to all of this hoopla that is simply just trying to dip into our pockets and to rob our kids of their future inheritance. Let's do something different. 1, let's release. 2, behold. Let's imagine what it would be like for us to be new. That if we are in new relationships, if we are new as a parent, if we're new in our finances, if we're new walking in our dream, what would that be like? Let's encourage each other every day. And let's show kindness. How? This week, there are men flying and a few women flying over to Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam to rape a 4-year-old. They're going to pay money to rape a 4-year-old little girl or little boy this week. Oh, yeah. They may or may not have a Valentine at home, but they're going over to Thailand and maybe even in your city, right where you live. And they're going to, yes, pay to have brutalizing sex with a child. Why? Because of the deep pain that is inside of them. Because of the deep pain that has twisted their mind and perverted their very hearts. And yet a 4-year-old is going to be bent over a bed and a man, a grown, huge man, is going to be forced upon her. So what could you do that's unique this week? Why don't you rally and campaign for the sex trade? Why don't you make it that you say, we're going to free 1 sex slave this week? And we're going to do it by rallying other students in our kids' school. We're going to do it by rallying the coworkers at work. We're going to do it by knocking on doors this week. And we're saying, you know what? For this week being Valentine's week, we've known that there are people going. There's men going over to have sex with a 4-year-old this week. And we want to say, no, not on my watch. And so what we're asking for people to do is rather than buying chocolates, rather than buying flowers, rather than buying stuff for people that don't need it, we are looking for people that want to help free at least 1 sex slave from the sex trade this week. What does it take to do it? Well, it depends on what part you want to do. Do you want to provide for a kid who's already been extracted out of that scene? It's $400 a month. If you want to be a part of the one that's ripping them out of that brothel, it's $1,500 to get that kid out of that brothel. If you want to help to supply the food for them for a month, it's $100, right? So you can raise as much as you possibly want this week alone. And so let's turn this thing about love rather than lust, but real love by giving encouragement, bringing to the focus of all the marketing that's going on that's trying to rip money out of your pocket for nothing good, just chocolate good. Well, on your tongue for a minute, grows your hips bigger, but certainly does not have a purpose, right? But instead, let's get people to rally around the fact that we want to help free a kid out of the sex trade. So let's do that. So you pick it. Do you want to feed them? Do you want to bring counseling, housing, food, clothing, and education? That's $400 a month. Food is $100 a month. Okay, the $400 includes the food. And or you want to rip them out of that brothel? $1,500. $1,500. One time, $1,500. The kid is being ripped out of the brothel. How? kingsransom.org. Last year, freed 1,502 kids from the sex trade. 1,502 kids. So no matter which way you do it, whether you're feeding them, you're freeing them. If you are supplying the housing, the safety, the education, the healing, the counseling, you are freeing them. And or if you want to pay towards the getting them out of the brothel, $1,500, you are freeing them. So if you go to kingsransom.org, you can see Rescue 1000. You can even actually set up a campaign page if you wanted to, but it says Rescue 1000. So you want to rescue 1,000 kids from the sex trade is the goal of King's Ransom for this year. We want to free another 1,000 kids from the sex trade for this particular year. And so you can be a part of that for this week. Come on, it's unique. Think about it. Rather than go in the way of the masses, let's pull out of the way of the masses. Let's do something unique. Let's do something different. Let's do something purpose. Let's do something powerful and make it a week of love and still filling the needs of love and appreciation and adoration for those that are around us and looking to save money from there and even just meeting with everybody and saying, let's do something with purpose this time. Let's do something with purpose this time. So I encourage you to do that. I'm Dani Johnson. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you go over to DaniJohnson.com, get a hold of your free book, or actually get a hold of First Steps to Wealth. Sorry, that offer is over. But get a hold of First Steps to Wealth if you want to learn to grow your income. If your marriage is not where you want it to be, get your hands on, yes, the Marriage Reset. Maybe that's a perfect gift for this year. The Marriage Reset, if you want to restore that marriage, make it hotter than boring and average. Okay? If this is your first time joining us, I really strongly recommend that you do the things that I just shared with you. Release. Embrace the new that's right in front of you. Think about it. Dwell on it. Give words of encouragement this week and show kindness to a kid in the sex trade. Show kindness. Gather other people to show kindness this week. And let's just change the world together. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you soon at a live event at a First Step Success. If you want more information about even what that is, click on events at DaniJohnson.com, where we show you exactly how to make more money, annihilate your debt, grow your career, and have more love in your life, which is exactly what you want. And we guarantee it in 30 days. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye.